This is a video, and it's an unusual video that I normally do. It's a video on two smart poles or selfie sticks from Smatree. Now, they are basically identical in how they look, how they perform, etc. There's only one difference. This one comes with a tripod, this one doesn't. Now, I'm just going to show you the two of them and do not even a comparison really, because they're both identical. I'm just going to show you exactly what you get, and the reason being why one is the Smatree Q1, which is this one at the top, and one is the Q3. Now, the Q1 on Amazon will cost you $14.99, and the Q3 here will cost you $16.99. Now, because both boxes are exactly identical, I'll just use one box to go around and show you. On the both boxes, it does state at the top here, Smatree, the Smatree logo, the SmaPole Q series, monopod selfie stick, and it has a picture of a GoPro camera on the actual selfie stick, on their line diagram of that. On the side it says Smatree. On the back we have the same thing again, written lots on the front. This is just codes from Amazon, basically just to tell Amazon people what's in the box. And on the other side it has Smatree again. So the both boxes, as I stated, are identical. Now, here are the items that are in the both boxes. Now I'm going to start off with in both boxes. That's why I'm only showing you one of one and one of the other. You both get this little leaflet that is attached to the selfie poles. So you both get that little leaflet, which is just generally showing you the different things that are on the pole. So you both get that. And you both get in each box a simple little quick start guide, which is in English and in a couple of other languages, including Chinese. I think that's Chinese, but I hope that's Chinese, and you get that as well. Now, the top selfie stick here is the Q1. Now, with the Q1, you get the pole and a GoPro thumb screw with the Q1. With the Q3, which is this one here, you get obviously the pole, you get a tripod, you get a phone mount, and you get a GoPro thumb screw. Now, for the rest of this video, I'm just going to show you the Q3, because obviously the Q1 is exactly identical to the Q3. So I might as well just show you the Q3 with all its extras. The Q1 is exactly the same, built the same, handles the same, has the same, and I'll bring it close to the camera, has the same exact attachments at the top of the pole, same everything, basically the same thing. So for the rest of the video, I'm just going to use the Q3 as a demonstration. Now, with the Q3, you get this phone mount, which is made out of plastic. It has rubber on the bottom and top of the clamp itself of the mount. We have a 1/4 inch thread screw hole there and a 1/4 inch female screw hole there. It does not have no cold shoe mount on top. It's just strictly for holding your phone, and that is it. And it is spring loaded, and it is made out of plastic. Now, also with the Q3, you get this tripod here, and it is totally made out of metal, and there is some weight to this. It has a 1/4 inch thread at the top, a kind of metal base here, and the legs are made out of solid metal with rubber tips on the ends, and it has a low stance to it. So this is a strictly tabletop tripod, and it can able to be folded down like that. So that's what you get with the Q3. Now also with the Q3 and the Q1 you get the same GoPro thumb screw. Now this is made out of plastic, and you get the nut on the top to lock it to the selfie stick. So, and that's what you get. So it's just a standard GoPro thumb screw that you get with the both selfie sticks. Now, as I stated before, this is the Q3. The Q1 is exactly identical in every shape and form of the Q3. Now, I'll go through what you get on the actual selfie stick. We get this nice rubber handle, which is, as you can see here, it is narrow here but thick at the end here for your grip, and it's a very grippy rubber. We get this lanyard attached on the both of them, on the Q1 and the Q3, same exact lanyard. Both of them have the same exact 1/4 inch screw thread on the bottom, female 1/4 inch screw thread. They both have an aluminium shaft with the words Smatree printed on them. Then they both have the same identical silver instruction sticker on there showing you how to pull out and retract, extend and retract the selfie stick, and this uses a twist motion to lock it in. They both have the same exact ball joint or ball head at the top, made out of metal, which is quite good, so I like that. They both have this kind of lever at the top, which only uses a 1/4 inch turn, a quarter turn, to move the actual mount at the top, which can move at 90 degrees, like so, and can turn when loosened. So they both have exactly the same, and just fasten it, just simply turn it up, and now it's locked into place. Now on the base here, they both have this metal GoPro tripod head with its own built-in screw here, with this kind of brass screw end here. So they both have exactly the same, and as I said, it's both made out of aluminium. Now this can be removed, and I'll show you. You simply hold the platform here of the ball head and simply turn and screw that off, and what we got now is the top of the ball head with a 1/4 inch thread, and we have this mount, and that's what both of them have, exactly the same. Now the actual length of this selfie stick, now I always say this, most manufacturers or all manufacturers of selfie sticks or poles measure the entire length. So they measure from the bottom of the handle here to the very top of the mount, the full length when it's extended out. Now I don't do that, because to me that's a bit of a false measurement, because your hand is going to take up some of the length of this pole or selfie stick, and your mount on here is going to take up some. So I go by the actual extended length proper, which is from the bottom of the mount itself at the top to the handle, at the top of the handle. Now, because this section here of this particular handle doesn't extend out and the rubber is only halfway up there, so I'm just going to count from where the tip of the rubber is on the handle, and between them two points here, it is 30 inches it extends out to. Now if you want to take it from, not counting this part, from actually where the actual 1, 2, 3 sections come out, then it's 25 inches. So it's 25 inches, or from the top of the rubber handle, it's 30 inches. Now, this is the Q1, and the Q1 is exactly the same length as the Q3, what I just showed you. The Q1 and the Q3 are both the same length. Now, the Q1 and the Q3 both use the same kind of action to extend the selfie stick. It's a twist, so it's anti-clockwise to unlock it, clockwise to lock it. So anti-clockwise to unlock, clockwise to lock it up. It has, both of them have the same seam down the front and back all the way down to give it adequate strength. Just had to get that out. To give it adequate strength. Both of them have this same kind of, and I'll try and bring it closer, have this same kind of grey-white. I'd say it's a very light grey accent. It would have been brilliant if manufacturers made that the same colour as the Selfie Sticks. If they made it the same colour, which is black in this case, it would have gave it a more stealth impression and a more kind of expensive look to it if it was all the same. But that's what Smatree used, and they go with that. So they both have the same, as I said before, they both have the same ball head at the top, mini ball head at the top, and they both have the same fitting at the top. Now I've got the both sticks here, the Q1, the Q3. Now the reason why I've got the two of them to show you here is the mounting system at the top. The Q1 here, along with the Q3, has that same GoPro mount. So this is my GoPro on the Q1. It can do it on the Q3, and that's how it will look with your action camera on there. Now if you're using any other action camera other than a GoPro, it must have a GoPro style mount system on that camera if you're going to use the GoPro mount. If you don't use the GoPro mount and you use the actual 1/4 inch thread, then the camera here, the camera that you use has to have a 1/4 inch thread mount in there, female thread on it. So things like your SJ cams, your Yi cameras, they'll have a female 1/4 inch thread built into them, so you can use that mount. So it's the same mount, GoPro one on there and without. Now the reason why I've got two cameras here, and I just dropped it, and the reason why I got the two cameras here is to show the versatility of that ball head at the top. So you can able to take a GoPro on there, and you can take a 360 camera on there. Now when you're going to use a 360 camera, especially like the 1X, as you can see when I turn it to the side, you're going to have this amount of I'd say space at the side that might show in your shots. So be aware of that. That might show up in your shots. So as you can see, you can take these cameras on there. You can also put, especially on the mount, when you take the GoPro unit off, you can also put a standard camera on there, as in point and shoot camera. It will be able to take the weight of that. Mirrorless cameras, I don't think it will take it. It does state that it can take up to 1 kilo, so you might get away with it. You might get away with a mirrorless camera. So, but your DSLRs you won't be able to fit on this, so I wouldn't bother putting them on there. Now, this is another 360 camera. The one that I showed you before was the Insta360 1X on there. Now this is the, I've got to get that a bit straight. But anyway, this is the Insta360 Now if you're using the Insta360 on either the Q1 or the Q3, without the GoPro mount on there, just on the ball head, you can get away with the Insta360 because it's a thicker camera, so you will not see the base on that with the Insta360. Now on the Q3, along with the Q1, well, you don't get this particular mount on the Q1 as I stated before, so you'll have to buy this mount separate. But this is how your phone would look on the Selfie Sticks, whether you use the Q3 or the Q1. Remember, you have to buy that mount for the Q1. You do not get it on the Q3. You do get the phone mount. and that's how your phone would look on this particular selfie stick. Okay, this is how the Q3 looks with its tripod. Remember, the Q1 does not come with a tripod. You just get the pole itself and that's it. So with the Q3 you get this tripod. Now the base of this tripod, the footprint on it is okay. As I always say, if you're going to take this outside, please tether it. Bring yourself a meter long string, check which way the wind is blowing, tie it to the middle of the tripod here, selfie stick tripod, and then tie the other end to either a pole, lamppost, table leg, chair, whatever. That's to stop the wind from blowing this over. Now because I've got an iPhone, this is if you're using the iPhone, if you're using a mobile phone with the mobile phone mount. Now you probably may get away with it if you're using a GoPro camera or an action camera, because it's a smaller item on top, so the wind is less likely to catch it, but just be on the caution side. But anyway, this is how it looks. Now I'd say for indoor use, to go on top of a table, work surface, etc., this is brilliant. It's, even though I'm near to this, I cannot see any wobble whatsoever, even on this hardwood floor. So for indoor use, and as I said, you can adjust it at different lengths anyway. But for indoor use, this is absolutely great. For outdoor, I always say tether the item, tether the selfie stick. Now this is my 2p worth on the Q1 and the Q3 on the Q1 and on the Q3. These are very good selfie sticks to have, stroke action poles. They're very good, they're very lightweight, the both of them. They just weigh about 200 to 300 grams each. They weigh, obviously this one weighs a bit more because you got the tripod legs, but you can remove them, the Q3. But they are very good and they are worth its money. I have to say they are worth its money, because when you take them out the box, they feel solid and they're built solid. So they are worth the money that you pay. Remember, £14.99, £16.99 for the Q3. So they are worth its money. And as I said before, you get an extra phone mount, the phone mount with the Q3 and the tripod legs. So this is worth its money. They're very compact as well, so if you need to pack them in your carry-on luggage, they're brilliant to go on that. They're brilliant to fit into that. Obviously the Q3 you have to take the legs off, but it's brilliant for carry-on luggage to place in there, and even your suitcase. So if you're looking for a good pole, a good selfie stick to take, these are it. Now the negatives of both of these poles. First negative is the accents or rings of each section of these poles. Smatree could have just made them the same colour. If they made them the same colour, made the pole, it will give, to me, in my opinion, will give it a more kind of quality looking pole. Don't get me wrong, they're not bad quality, but it'll give it a more of a quality looking pole, because as you pay more for your pole or selfie stick, they tend to make the colour the same colour as the stem. So these plastic rings where they join the sections, they tend to make the same colour, and it gives him more impression of it, more solid, looks more solid, looks more expensive. They could have done that with these. Another negative is, I would say, is it's got to be the price difference. I know it sounds stupid, but be considering that you're only paying a few pounds, £2 more extra, they might as well have shipped the Q1 with the same stuff as the Q3 and just deleted the Q3 or deleted the Q1 off their lineup altogether. I just think just paying the slight more for these little bits there, to me it's just mad. because if anything, I would go for the Q3 for its extra stuff. So they could have just turned all the Q1s to Q3s and just added the extras on there. And one more negative, which is only a little negative, is the ends of the poles here where the handles are could have been a little bit thicker, just a little bit thicker, because even though the poles are thin and strong, they could have made the handles just a little bit more thicker to give you something more of a hold. Even though they're not too bad, but me personally, would rather have a thicker end pole to give it more of a grip, because after a while I would tend to get pains in here after holding this for too long, and especially if the item what you got on there, whether it's a camera or a phone on there, if it's got some weight to it, you will begin to feel it in your forearms. So just a little bit thicker on the ends would have been perfect. Now, if you've got either one of these poles, the Q1 or the Q3, please let us know down in the comment section what you thought of these poles, because my opinions may be different to your opinions. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like this video, you can give it a thumbs down. I understand. Thanks for watching, and oh yes, please subscribe to my channel. Bye.